I've told this story before, but it's been a while. A friend of mine came up and said, Mike, the women's club that we're in, we're having one of the members' daughter is coming up to do a book signing in the library. And it's very last minute. We're afraid no one's going to show up. I know you like to read. Would you consider coming just so we have people in the room? And I'm like, man, I have never met an author before in my life. I'm like, yes, I will come. Did not ask what the book was about, which was a fatal flaw. So I got there, and I am the only man in the room. There's about 15 people. There are mothers who brought their 12 and 14-year-old daughters, and the woman wrote a teenage romance book, and I'm the only male there. And I'm like, huh. And I knew if I left, I would never hear the end of it. And if I sat in the back corner, then everyone would just be going, who is that guy and why is he staring at my, so I was like, fine, I'm here. I have to own it. Sat in the front row, front and center. And the woman went through and talked about her book and said, are there any questions? Which there were none because no one had heard of her until that day. And so I just went, how did you publish your book? Really? You can do that free? You can do it on Amazon? And I just asked like 17 questions about the process of publishing and not a single thing about her book. Not knowing that, this is like, she's staring daggers at me. And then afterwards, I had to buy the book because you can't go to these things and not. Plus, no one else asked questions but me. So there's a picture of me holding the book, smiling, and she's looking up at me like, who is this freak? And so I went home and I was like, you know what? And I was mad because I was like, I had to buy this stupid book. I don't like romance. It's teenagers. Ugh. And I just decided because I'm, cantankerous, is I was like, you know what? I'm going to read it and I'm just going to make fun of the author the whole time. And so I read the book and I was like, the book's not bad. It's nothing I care about. I'll never, read anything like this again. And then I sat there, I was like, I bet I could do that. And so then I sat there and I tried, okay, what story would I tell? I, got ideas for actually the Haley Traveler was the first book that I ever wrote.
Oh.
And I rewrote it 14 times, fortunately, before anyone saw it. But yeah, that it all started then because my friend told me to go to an author signing for a book that I absolutely hated. So, random.
That's a sitcom moment there. Like that's a scene from a sitcom. I've been watching a lot of Cheers lately, and I'm going that'd fit perfect.
So that is the whole start. I was 46, and I said, you know what? I'm going to start writing.
Yeah.
And it took me 4 years, and I stopped with Haley Traveler after 7 times through writing it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a break, see if I can write a fantasy. And I wrote 4 fantasy books before I ever went back to Haley. And then I finally published Haley last year, and now I've been on a sci-fi kick. So I tell you they're my plans, but they're worthless.
Yeah.
I did not think I'd do 2 years of sci-fi, and yet here I am. So